Okay. Hello, 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 everyone. I'm so excited to be here. Sorry for 2, 3, 4 minutes, even 4 minutes delay. Something really strange happened today, and I was trying to fix it really fast, but obviously everything collapsed. So actually, I had to switch off and try to connect again. But we are together right now, so hello, hello. And yeah, we can start. Let's take a sip of our tea or coffee, whatever you have with you. Let's take a deep breath, shall we? Yes. I just need to ease my heart a little bit because I had this little stress just before going live. But now everything is fine and we are here together. So welcome, welcome. I am Maggie, your fearless marketing coach, and I'm running a series of videos through the whole month of March to share with you my view, but also to exchange with you your ideas on topics related to putting yourself out there and being visible and expressing, experiencing actually different kind of fears and uncertainties and self-doubts and all this talk shit that really is trying to stop us on the way. And today I have planned a topic which is called being enough. Well, actually, this is very, very common problem, popular, and I think that everyone who is trying to do something other than, I don't know, cooking and maybe walking the dog and just a normal life, at one point is facing the feeling of being really not in the right place and being certainly not enough. This, I must share with you, it hit me really badly about 18 months, sorry, months, 18 months ago, when I decided to expand into the online world and shift my consulting business into 100% online. So I decided that I will maybe not close the consulting business, but I will sort of decrease it a little bit, and I will not search for clients over there, but I will shift my focus to the online world. But also I will go globally. So it meant stopping playing small and in one market, but going really at least into the Europe and beyond the Europe, using my former experience, being in a different marketing roles for over 25 years. And what happened is that, well, I had a relatively simple task that I have put in front of me to build my brand, to build my website along, and to build a social media presence to enhance my expert position. And it all started. In the beginning, it looked like very, very practical aim or task. But the more I was going into the details, the more I realized that the feeling of who I am to share with these people my experience, is my experience really enough for people out there? Is my language enough to speak to the global audience? Maybe maybe I use, such a plain international English that for native speakers it will be almost offending to use this language, so we cannot communicate. And all of a sudden, I realized that my to-do list is not getting any shorter. However, I put myself to work full days, more than 12 hours a day. However, I was moving forward, however, very, very slowly, in my opinion. In my opinion, it was too slow. So I had to be really fast, and in my opinion, I should accelerate it much quicker. But also, I realized that I should have done this and that, and I need to prepare a million of other things. And awareness of that was killing me on the energetic level, because it was really draining my energy. To be honest, I've been invited to write a story about that, and you can find this story in the book that was published about 2 weeks ago on Amazon. The book is called Wild Wise Women, and it's a co-authoring book with 9 other business women. Each of us has prepared her own story, showing that first of all, we are normal people, that we have completely the same uncertainties, doubts, problems, issues, and mind work and self-talk that all the other women in the entrepreneurship world. But these stories also show how we cope with that. So I invite you really warmly to have a look on Amazon, because today the book is available in the Kindle edition for free. So you can have a look. My chapter is chapter 7, which is called Unstoppable. And it exactly shows the story how I have discovered the ugly truth, what I'm doing to myself, what my ego is doing to me, and what kind of remedy I have put on myself to get out from that vicious circle. But this is enough for the book. But I think that you can guys relate to the feeling of being not in the right place, or being not enough. Speaking maybe not in the word that, not in the manner that you would expect people expect from you. And this is something that, again, we are doing to ourselves through our mind, because we put judgment on ourselves. We believe in something that in many cases is simply not true. We believe that we should be doing something, or we should be presented as somebody, and nobody is expecting this from us. So the first step to cure from this way of thinking is really to be aware. What exactly are we thinking? What exactly are this what is this self-talk? What are the unhealthy beliefs that we are acquiring along our whole life, actually? Many of these beliefs are imprinted or implanted by the environment we are growing in. So by our parents, by grandparents, later by the school, and the further process of growing up and becoming an adult. But it is usually some kind of event that triggers a specific feeling in our body. We usually feel uncomfortable, uncertain about ourselves, and that feeling sort of locks in our mind that we are not worth it, or we are just not being enough. This is really something that triggers a lot of fear, because the more frequently you fear the more frequently you feel not enough, not in the right place, like, oh, nobody will buy from you, or nobody will listen, or you have nothing really valuable to share, there is no substance in what you know. um, it becomes more and more difficult to get out from this position. So the minute you realize that you see this feeling, or you feel this feeling, ask for help and ask for support, because actually it is relatively easy to reverse that situation and to put some extra energy, inject some extra energy and beliefs into you. The ego talk, I've been speaking about that earlier this week. What we have really, we have our logical mind, and this is our brain and our rational behavior, and some rational, semi-rational thoughts that we believe are our logical guidance. But also we have our intuition, which sometimes tell us things that, for instance, we should be doing, or we are not really meant to do things like that. And usually when we listen to that little voice, we are really growing, and the situation turns into the very positive one to us. When we don't listen, we find ourselves sometimes in a deep shit. Sorry for my French. This intuition is called by many people different words. Sometimes people call it higher self. Sometimes, and it really depends, what is your belief system. If you believe in God, then you can think that this is the God guidance. This is the God plan for you. So the God puts you in a specific situation to direct you into a specific place, because you are meant to be there. Personally, I am not a religious woman myself. I have found myself on a spiritual path not very long ago, a couple of years maybe. I have enhanced, or I learn a lot about spirituality and this exchange with the universe and exchange of the energy for last 8-9 months, and I am amazed with its practicality, ease, and how it is all working. Because I have been brought in a very scientific, nature-based way. My parents were not religious. We were not visiting any church. There was no, God was not present in our world. However, the science like biology, mathematics, physics, chemistry, everything that you can touch and feel, actually, I believe in that. And Spiritual things are the things that sometimes, or actually for most of the time, you don't see, you just feel them. However, after some time, when you are a patient and you do the spiritual work, they are happening for you. Um, and maybe I will leave some stories from my life for another occasion, because today we are talking about being enough. But recently, I really experienced, the connection with my higher self and with the universe, and I feel like we are trying to not trying. We are building a real bond. And later on today, I will tell you something that happened to me, which really I had some goosebumps, but it was fun, really fun. Um, I was speaking about the fear, and I mean every time you you try to do something differently, you try to put yourself out of your um, autopilot, um, your daily routine, the way you do things every day, and you reach for more. You decide that you are meant for something else and you would like to achieve something else. Uh, Actually, the same minute, then your ego or your lower self steps in and puts a lot of different kinds of fears into you, and one of them is feeling not enough. And to tell you the truth, um, first of all, this is absolutely not true. I mean, this is the ego trying to play the shit play with you. And I know that you need to learn, to understand uh, when it is really ego talk and when it is your intuition talk. And I will be sharing with you later during our March live streaming how to select or how to identify when one is speaking and when another one is really showing you the shortcuts and the, the best path for you. But the role, just to remember today that the role of the ego is to protect you, um, and to make sure that you will not use too much energy for some activities that, according to the ego, might use too much of the energy that you might need in future for protection and for survival. So ego is trying basically to protect you. It's a good guy in a way, if you love it and if you understand what this sneaky lizard is doing. But at once, when it implants these thoughts in your mind, in your head, sometimes it feels really shitty, and it can put you down for a long time. Um, what is really, really helpful and practical advice that I can give you is whenever you feel something like that, there are actually two things you can do that come to my mind instantly. The first thing is really to use your mindfulness to observe without any judgment, without really trying to rush into the solution. So don't look for solution at the moment, but just notice what is happening. Notice what kind of thoughts. What is this voice telling you? Um, is it telling you to do it differently or not doing it at all, or stop it, shut it down, going backwards? What they are really talking about. For instance, today, just 1 minute, maybe 2 minutes before I switch on the streaming, I looked at the topic of today, being enough. And then this huge thing popped to my mind like, no, don't talk about this. This is too early. They will not understand it, and you will not be in a position to explain it to them clearly because you cannot express yourself clearly enough. And I said, are you stupid? Stop it, stop it. We have planned it for today. This is a really important topic. So many women, so many people are put down by this feeling. This is so common that I know that within 30 minutes, 40 minutes, I will not be able to explain everything. But I would like to start talking to them about this, and I would like to make them aware what are the first elements they can have a look into, and this will be just the beginning for them. I'm helping them in this way. So shut up. I am running this show. So I stepped for myself, and even though my heart was elevated, and it just came to my mind that the fact that I messed with the connection, that was actually my ego playing with me, because it wanted to, or she wanted to beat me up, to take my power from me. And that's why, in the beginning of our conversation, I felt a little bit maybe stressed, maybe my heartbeat was elevated, but I am running the show. I am making the decisions. So, dear Lady Ego, just sit down in your corner and sit down quietly because I have a thing to do. Uh, because even though I was a little bit I wasn't frightened, but let's imagine that it was a situation that can make you scared. And what really is putting down your ego is the aligned action. It is called aligned action because the action is aligned with your power, with your desire, and with your intuition. So you basically take the step even though you are scared. You take the action even though you don't know how it will all end up. And the story that I've seen yesterday, I was preparing to the full day workshop I will be running tomorrow with a client of mine. And it just came to me like from out of nowhere. I was not looking for that. Um, on the YouTube, there was a really like 15-minute video with Simon Sinek. I know that some of you might be familiar with the name, and he was explaining, he was sharing the story about the seals, and I'm not talking about the animals here, but about the members of the most elite troops, military troops. I don't know whether they are American or British or maybe both, but these guys are like higher than Marines. They are top of the top, creme de la creme in military, and they can do absolutely anything. However, to become a SEAL member, you need to go through extremely tough training. So the question was really who finishes the training, because so many people qualify for the training, but a really very selected one, very chosen one finish it and join the troops. So what are the qualities they have to they present actually? And the guy the guy who was like a high rank officer in these troops respond in a way, well, I cannot tell you what really qualifies or what makes them to become a member of SEAL, but I can tell you what doesn't make them to become this member of our team. First of all, guys who are um, not masculine but muscular. They have the big muscles, you know, the big guys like Schwarzenegger in his best time. The really strong guys, they rather pass the training. The guys who are selfish, they don't pass the training. So they are rejected during the training. The guys who are not paying attention to other team members, they are also disqualified. And sometimes you see these guys who are quite skinny, who really shiver in front of the situation, and they are really, you know, you see that they are scared. They are scared physically, they are scared, their body is scared, yet they are doing two things. They are moving forward despite of this you know, fucking paralyzing sorry, pardon my French, paralyzing fear. And always they are very protective towards their team members. Sorry, I got a little bit emotional. The team members just put tears into my eyes. So these guys really, you know, they qualify. And why I'm speaking about that, because they are the best on the world example that you could be tough guy and you can you can achieve absolutely everything. These guys can do everything in terms of military and in terms of other stuff. But on the first glance, they don't look tough and they don't look like they can do it. So think about it. Think about reflectively. It certainly resonates really, you know, deeply in me. If you show up and you act despite of your fears, the universe, the God, your guides, your intuition will show you the next steps, will show you exactly what you need to, what you are meant to be doing as your next step. You don't have to know everything. Just make the first step. Just decide. Making the first steps is happening really by taking the decision. I decide today that even though I feel the shitload of fear, I will do it anyway. And what happens is that, first of all, your fear melts away, and it happens really, really fast because you are taking a line, the decision. And when you are stuck, sometimes it's like you think that maybe you are doing something and you take the decision, but still the feeling of being not enough and being out there without any value for anybody is really strong in you. Then you can ask for help. You can ask for sign. And I would like to share something with you that happened to me this week, actually. Because I didn't know that I can ask for signs, and I didn't really believe in signs until it happened. So my signs were really, really subtle. But first, you can ask to the universe or to the God or to your supporters, to your guides, dear universe, just if I am right, and if I'm meant to do that, even though I feel so small right now, just show me the sign. And you decide between you and the universe what will be the sign. You don't wait for signs. You just decide that first thing that comes to your mind. And for instance, first thing that came to my mind, out of nowhere, it was a rabbit. Okay, so I had this rabbit, and what happened? I think that I've heard about this, this little support that you can get from the universe, maybe on Monday, and on Tuesday, it was yesterday, when I was logging to my Facebook page, Maggie Biernacka. I usually see, what was happening and how many fans are there, because people are joining really frequently recently. And I just saw the number. It was 333, quite unusual number. So I asked my friends, which are much more advanced in the spiritual world, and they know the numbers and the spiritual meaning of the numbers. Is there any specific meaning to 333? And the ladies, and God bless them for that, they told me, well, this is very special meaning. It means that the universe or the God support you all the time. They have your back, and you are meant for, the growth is coming. The big up leveling is just ahead of you. So big things will be happening very, very soon. And I said, okay, fine. All right. And to tell you the truth, I have a problem with trust and surrendering to all this, power of the universe, because the spirituality is a new thing for me, and I'm so rational. But I said, okay, it's a good sign. I love it. Thank you, universe. I just said thank you, and later this day, that was actually the moment when I decided, okay, let's check. I got this 333, but let's check. I will select the rabbit, so be it, as my sign that you really watch me, universe, and you really hold my back, because I still feel like I am responsible for everything in this world, myself included. So okay, let's play, and let's see the rabbit. So and I didn't do anything else. I mean, that was this, this thing that popped through my mind, and I came back to what I was doing. And actually, in the afternoon that day, I was preparing a Facebook post. So I went to Canva to prepare the design for that. And guess what happened? I will just take a sip of tea. During the preparation of this creative design, I just came to the place where actually I never go, because I don't need any elements from that. But I opened it anyway. My hand just go there in a way. I opened that, and there were some nice shapes that I may be using in future. However, I saw 3 rabbits in there. They were scattered in the whole library of different shapes. One of them was colorful. The other one was made from just one line, just the shape of rabbit, and another one was green blue, like a shaded shaded rabbit. And I thought, oh, okay, 3 rabbits. That's a strong sign. So thank you, universe. I think we have uh, our language or our system set up in place. So I know that whenever I'm really, stuck and cannot move, I can use this rabbit or use this sign for help. And that was sweet moment, but also I think emotional moment for me. So thank you, universe, for that. Um, Maybe last thing that I would like to share with you in the essence, you will fear through your whole journey. It will be different fears because you will learn how to um, adjust to these fears. You will learn how to fight with your fears, so that the feeling of being enough will not be with you. Uh, And one thing, a very, very practical thing that I have learned maybe 3 months ago is that your decisions, your conscious decisions coming from your heart and your intuition, from your power, are really dissolving these fears. But actually, what is really, and this is, listen, guys, because this is really cool. You can actually choose your thoughts. So if you are finding yourself thinking in your head that you are not enough, you are shitty, you are, all the negative thoughts that are coming through your minds, it's just enough to say, hey, hold on, stop, stop. I am absolutely not available for this kind of talk. Full stop. So I wrap this thought in a nice, nice paper and send it back to the universe. And I select another one, positive, that I am actually very smart businesswoman. I have achieved a lot. I can do things that no other things can do, and I can reach for more. And that was breakthrough practice for me. When I have realized that I can consciously choose what I'm thinking and how I'm thinking about myself, that changed everything. So try this for the next couple of days, couple of weeks. I know it sounds weird, and it sounded weird to me, but I was brave enough to to test it, and it really works. It works wonders. Whenever I feel this, unhealthy thoughts regarding myself happening, I try that. Obviously, it's not like it happens like this and it will never come back. It will come back. Your fears will come back, but you will be much better equipped with the tools to fight back, to push it away, and to sort of build a bubble, kind of a bubble around you, so that next time this, unhealthy thoughts and beliefs have absolutely no access to you. So I hope. Let me check. Maybe. Oh yeah, I'm checking my notes. I have just maybe last sentence. I know that I was promising the last sentence a couple of times already, but this one is really last. Remember, and I try to practice it also every day. Whenever the fear shows up, the feeling of fear, this uncomfortable feeling is happening. This is actually the golden nugget. This is the sign of your body to watch out for very specific topic that you are meant to work on. So if you feel discomfort, just have a look, try working on that, dismantle this discomfort into the pieces, see, dig down, see what is creating really this discomfort, where does it come from? And once you do the inner work, this kind of fear will disappear. There will be others, but they might be less less destructive. I mean, they will be less destructive, and they will not come to you out of nowhere. So yeah, remember that you are enough. You are more than enough, and for many people around you, you are amazing. You are a star. You have achieved so much that they cannot believe how you did it. So maybe if you would like to work on that, you can have a piece of paper and just journal, just make notes. What I have achieved, what I am really, really, good at, and I am proud of myself. Try to make a list of 10, 20, 30, 50 things that you are proud of. And they could be big things and they could be small things, because the beauty is in noticing our small victories. They are building our strength and they are building our growth. And I think that I would like to conclude with this thought. So thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for being with me.